Alright people, today we have a special video. And before we start, let's get on with our special guests. A cinema roll from hit series, the Sanrio series of cinema rolls, and a Kirby car. They will be here in the background. You probably won't be able to see them most of the time. But anyways, today's video, if you probably read the title, is about consoles. Gets blurry, don't. I don't give a shit. Consoles. I'm doing something a little fun. We're gonna rank them. Just focus on my hands, phone. Thank you. We're gonna be battling it out with consoles. I have all my consoles here, and I did a few things. We're gonna be talking about the console and two games. No controllers. Controllers are gonna be its own video. And basically, this is going to be like a battle. What console can fight against another console? We'll get to the fighting later on, but we're going to be talking about the games that the console get picked with, and the console itself. Controllers is going to be its own video, so you're going to have to wait for that. I'm sorry. A few consoles that are not going to be included are mini consoles. This is a bootleg entertainment system. Games that are inside the system, like mini consoles, like I said. Or things like the PS TV, where it technically is a console, but it's more like a set-top like box kind of thing. And, you know, technically it's playing handheld games. Only one console is going to make that exception, and we'll get to that one when it's time. But for now, actually, I don't like this thing. For now, let's get on with our first console. And here's our first console, the NES. You know, one of the first consoles, and for its two games, every game was randomly picked by a wheel. I picked every game I had, and it'll be just two random games. So, unfortunately for this guy, it got Mickey Mousecapade and Super Dodgeball. These are weird choices. I paid $15 for it. Yeah, some of these will have their stickers. I don't care. Honestly, you could do a lot worse than Mickey Mousecapade and Super Dodgeball. Mickey Mousecapade, honestly, is a pretty fun platformer. You have to control both Mickey and Minnie at the same time, so, you know, there's the problem where if Minnie dies, you die, or if you die, Minnie dies. Minnie isn't really... You can't play as Minnie. I don't think you can. I haven't played, like, putting two controllers in. But it's actually really fun, and some of the music's not bad. The first level annoys me, and one of the things that it does annoy me is sometimes you will shoot something that's invisible, because you got to do that sometimes. And when you do that, it might just steal Minnie away, and you can't beat the game without Minnie and Mickey together. So then you have to go get a key, I think. Get a key, and then pick the right Minnie statue to get Minnie back. Otherwise, it's not bad. The console, you know, you just slide the game in, as so, and you click it down, and you power it on. To show off the NES, these definitely are not good choices, as Super Dodgeball has really bad frame rate. Like, the game will constantly stutter, and Mickey Mousecapade just doesn't show a lot of graphics. Like, the most cool things about this game is that, like, there's scrolling forests and, like, lots of, like, things to see. But after you've seen it all, you've seen it all. Like, the lake level, I think that's level 2, has these cool waves, but the waves kill you, so it's not as fun. As Super Dodgeball is a hell of a good time. I don't care about the frame rate. This game is fun. Like, if you're looking for a good time and you don't care, Super Dodgeball is actually not too bad. Not a bad choice. I don't know how well this will compete with the next console. Can you stop moving? But for our first console, these two games aren't half bad. I do have to say, for Super Dodgeball, you can get a lot of content out of this. Like, not only can you just play the main game, and that's like, I think, like 12 stages of dodgeball with different countries, different music. You play as your team versus the other teams. Like, there's like Russia. I think it ends with Russia, and there's like Africa, there's like the UK. There's a lot of that. And it's a pretty silly dodgeball game. But it's really addictive because when you jump, which is pressing both the buttons at the same time and throwing the dodgeball, it's fun. And you can run at them and then throw the dodgeball. And it's amazing. Yeah, these are not horrible choices, but I definitely would not have picked Mickey Mousecapade. Maybe Super Dodgeball. But, hey, this is a good start. This is our first console. Let's move on to the next one. All right, our next console here is the Sega Genesis. This is the Model 2, but we're going to be considering it as just the Genesis alone. We will not be considering the 32X or the Sega CD, as I do not own either one of those. I paid, how much did I pay for this? 60. Actually, that's not bad. NES, I paid 70, 80 maybe. Anyways, we're not going to be, prices are not going to be in here because used game prices all over the place. We're not talking about that. We're talking about games and console. So, you know, the usual 2 players. We're not going to really go into like multiplayer games because I don't think any of the games I own are multiplayer unless the console specifically has like multiplayer embedded, and we'll be getting there soon enough. But you want to know what games it got picked. This is going to get a very unfair advantage because the 2 games it got, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and NBA Jam. And this is going to be so unfair for the NES. But it is a sports game. So how does this compare to, hold on, it's right over here. How does NBA Jam compare to Super Dodgeball? Is this a joke? Screw this game. NBA Jam. Dude, this game is like the best basketball game in the existence. You just pop it in, power it on, and you play NBA Jam. Well, you gotta like start the game, you know, press start, put your name in and your birthday. I think year as well. Who gives a shit? NBA Jam actually was like the first game I got with my Genesis. So I bought this Genesis, I bought NBA Jam and Miss Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man's not here, but Miss Pac-Man was good too, but NBA Jam. Oh my god, this is such a fun game. Especially compared to NBA Jam on Super Nintendo or a Game Boy. This is the best version of NBA Jam. I'm not sure about Tournament Edition, but I'm pretty sure it's the same, because the Super Nintendo version, no music. This version, good music. It's pretty accurate to the arcade game, and I think it's worth your time. This does come in a case, so if we have consoles with cases, we will be like kind of talking about those. But you know, the usual case, you got your manual. I think it's a black and white manual. Yeah. But yeah, see, there's your Genesis 1. This is the Genesis 2. But this game is really fun. As like an arcadey game, also as a sports game, it is probably one of the only sports games I will constantly play. Like, I don't talk about sports games enough. And I was planning on doing a sports game video. And you know what was going to be in it? NBA Jam. Because this game is actually really fun. And I would probably pick this over Super Dodgeball any day. And Sonic 3. Well, Sonic 3 is the third Sonic game. This does not have a manual. But this game is quite excellent. Because it's Sonic. I think the sticker's a bit old. But you know this is a loved game. I paid maybe 20 bucks for this game. It's Sonic. I mean, what do you want more from a Genesis? To show off the console, a Sonic game is pretty good, and a port of an arcade game is also really good. Because not only that, you get to see how it compares to an arcade game, you can see how it compares its own, which is pretty good due to 3D graphics in the blue spheres. You get tons of levels, maybe not as much as like 1 and 2, but you get a multiplayer, so you know, both games can play 2-player together. Sonic 3 is a bit weird because you can do the multiplayer mode, which is like this, the like weird squished game, 2-player split screen, or you can like have Tails behind you, and that's not fun to do. That's not fun. Don't really do that. It's not fun for player 2. It's even in Mania, not fun thing to do. Just play Sonic Superstars or something. But as this console is right now, it's got a huge advantage over the NES. This thing has two of the best games on its side right now. And I don't know how it's going to compare to the other guys. Because this is good. And I know this is quick because we have a lot of consoles to get to. But also, I talked to, like, these are really good games. And, you know, we're talking about game and console, not games. Like, we're not talking about Columns or Tasmania. If they got Tasmania, this would be a whole different thing. But this is fun. This is a fun, like, console, especially if you only had these two games. You had a good time. One, Sonic 3 is fun, no matter how many times you replay it. You can just replay it once as Sonic and Tails, replay it twice as Tails, replay it again as just Sonic. That's weird, I know. Replay it to get all the Chaos Emeralds. You can play the multiplayer with your friends. You can just play the blue spheres. I love blue spheres. Yeah. An NBA Jam, it's just NBA Jam. Like, 1 to 4 players. Oh my god. That's actually pretty cool. Then you get the actual arcade experience at home with 4 people playing. I like how the game plays with the controller. But we're not talking about the controller that much. That might be for another video. Like, talking about the controller with 2 of its own games. Maybe. We'll get to that after this. But still, 4 players, and it's probably one of the best sports games. Like, I'm sure you can get anyone to play NBA Jam. You're not going to get everyone to play Madden 07. Ugh, I'm not going to play, like, a regular Madden game. Maybe, like, during the Genesis era, maybe you can get some guys over to play, like, Madden something. Or, for me, I would play NHL 97. That's pretty good. Well, I'm getting too far, but for these 2 games, pretty good. Pretty replayable. Both of them are replayable games. Like, I think it's a good choice. Next up is the one, the only, the Super Nintendo. I did that very badly. I'm not redoing that. Super Nintendo, SNES, SNUS. Probably don't call it SNUS. What more do I have to say? This thing is incredible. You know, you got, how much should I pay for this? $100. You could do worse. This guy is a beautiful system. Like, the Genesis Mini may be small, but this just looks nice. Like, you could put this on your shelf and people will go, oh, is that a SNES? Is that a Super Nintendo? Yeah, it is. Look at these buttons. That one's a little stuck, but these just feel good. Like, NES buttons, pretty alright. Genesis buttons, for me, they're a little mushy. This, that just feels right. And this, albeit a little sticky, I just might have to clean that. And this guy, no console yet has had an eject. Maybe the NES with pressing down, but who cares? It's not a real eject. You have to pull it out. This guy, you can just, and the game will come out. Speaking of games, F-Zero and Link to the Past. Why did my voice crack? F-Zero, Link to the Past. Wow, these are some good choices. These are first party games. It's weird how the wheel gave me these choices. Who cares? I was surprised it didn't pick a Japanese game that I didn't play. But I know these games well. And we're going to start with F-Zero. This game's good. This game's great, you know? You just plop it in. And then you can pull it out. You're not supposed to, but these cartridges changed. Because these, like, this one has a lock on it. So when you slide it in, you can't really pull it out as well. But that's because I also made it a region-free console by chopping some of the plastic off. Speaking of which, you're not supposed to pull them out. Here's what you're supposed to do. Plug a game in. Probably not that roughly, but, you know. Anyways, F-Zero. It is so good. Like, especially, this was a launch game. This game is fast. It's fun. It's timeless. I definitely will put this game in from time to time and just play it. I genuinely don't play F-Zero 99. I will play this. I've played this more than I have 99. This is just fun. This is classic fun racing. and like high speed racing too. Like you're drifting, you're flying, it's so cool. There's wind in some of the stages, so you have to fight the wind. I think this is such an excellent game, especially for the Super Nintendo. Like, you're buying the Super Nintendo. If you bought a Super Nintendo and you got F-Zero with it, you didn't get Mario World, you didn't get Pilot Wings, you got F-Zero, you are gonna be very impressed, especially since no other console had something like this. Like something fast, something where instead of the camera being up here where the car's like beep and you're turning, car was right here and you were driving along with it. I liked that. This is a good game. This is great. And Link to the Past, probably a very beautiful game. Probably because I haven't beaten it. I'm playing a lot of other games. Shiny. Anyways, I paid $30 for this. I don't remember how much it paid F-Zero for. Probably $25. This was worth it. I bought this with my console. Granted, I already had like a small stack of Snes games. Like I had Toy Story. I had Mario World. I think I had Donkey Kong. Did I have Donkey Kong Country? No. I'm thinking I had... What was it called? Some monkey game. It wasn't the Jungle Book. I knew I had the Jungle Book, but... that's not what I'm thinking of. I'll probably think of it later, but it wasn't Donkey Kong. This, Link to the Past, it's such a beautiful game. Like, music-wise, sounds great. Sounds beautiful. Gameplay-wise, it looks good. It sounds good. It just feels good. It feels like a good Zelda game. That, I think the running shoes that you get, I love that. Sure, it's kind of stiff and stuck, but it's fun. And it's fun to run around. The dungeons are nice. Game's fun. I think that's kind of important. No matter, like, if it's a single-player game. Like, these are both single-player games. You're not really showing off those 2 ports. But you're still getting a really good time by yourself. But that does deduct it points. Unfortunately, multiplayer is also going to be something that's part of this, like, ranking. And if your game isn't multiplayer, you're kind of missing out. And that's kind of sad. Then again, these games are going to fight on their own. These are excellent games. They're timeless. So much, in fact, that they are continuously being ported to the next system. On the Switch, you can play these games. You unfortunately can't play NBA Jam on the Switch. You can't play NBA Jam on anything except the, like, $500 arcade cabinet. You can't play Mickey Mousecapade. Mickey Mousecapade ain't on anything except the NES. I think. It might be on something else. Super Dodgeball is on Switch Online. Sonic 3 is part of Sonic Origins. But, like, if you own a Wii, you can play these 2 games. If you own a Wii U, you can play these 2 games. Hell, I think if you have a GBA, you can play versions of these games, not, the originals. But that's pretty good. These are excellent games that continue with other games. Like, F-Zero got F-Zero X. That was a really good game. And then I think GX. Link to the Past. As much as, like, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask are good, Link to the Past was really good. And Link's Awakening is excellent because it was trying to be like Links to the Past. Link to the Past on GBA is good because it's Link to the Past. What other ones? A Link Between Worlds is good. I don't know any other Zelda games. I haven't played much of them, but I've played Link to the Past and it's excellent. My save data, I hope, isn't gone because there's a battery in here. But for the Super Nintendo, you get a pretty good, like, 2 games and a pretty good console. I like this. This is a good start. We're going to be going into 3D now. Yay, because down was the 2D era. I don't have a TurboGrafx 16. Kind of wish I do. Kind of wish I did. Talking about Parasol Stars. Shut up. Let's go on to the next consoles. We're now in the 3D era with the N64. I'm going to be kind of biased with this console, unfortunately. Probably due to my relationship with it. This is my original N64. You can't put a price on this because this was given to me as a gift from when I was born. Unfortunately, I don't have anything game related from my childhood with this N64. Those games are long gone, unfortunately. But we do have 2 games. GoldenEye 007. This is going to be great. Dr. Mario 64. Ignore how really ugly it looks. I bought it used. It's not a good condition. Anyways, as the console sits, 4 players inbuilt. Like 4 players, that was cool. Like Super Nintendo, Genesis, NES, you had to buy like a 4-player controller pack, and that cost money. And not all the games had 4-player. Like NBA Jam was lucky enough to have 4 players in the box, but you had to buy an adapter, and I bought one, and it was by EA, and I found out only EA games work with that EA adapter. You have to buy an official multi-tap, whatever they call it. Power tap, power something. This guy, he's going to buy controllers, and I have 4 controllers. Granted, they kind of need to be, one of them needs to be fixed entirely, and the other 3, I think just need some nice little taking care of from time to time. But this guy, we're talking about as is because I don't own the expansion pack. But as it stands, this console's wonderful for 3D gaming. But this game doesn't show that off. Really quickly going to talk about this game because this is probably the worst game to pick with this system. It is a wonderful puzzle game. I love Dr. Mario. I own Dr. Mario and Tetris, Dr. Mario 64. Was there any other Dr. Marios? Like Dr. Mario for the Wii. It does online RX. Dr. Mario Miracle Cure. Dr. Luigi. But Dr. Mario 64 kind of is like, it kind of stands out because it was last minute. Like it was one of those last second games for the system before the system went kaput and it got replaced by the next guy. But as a puzzle game, excellent. As a multiplayer game, excellent. 4 players. It's a 4-player puzzle game. And as long as all your friends like puzzle games, you're gonna have a good time here. Everyone fighting, like, you do not know how hectic a puzzle game gets until there's a ton of people throwing junk at you. Or one person's almost done and the other person's like, oh, come on, screw you. But, you know, the one thing I do have to be upset about, you have to pull the games out again. Come on. What? You had that smooth, nice little boop, and the console just pops the game out. I miss that. I mean, to be fair, with the design of this console, where are you going to put the eject button? Right over here? I don't know. But Dr. Mario 64, good game. Probably not a good game to compete with the rest of them. Especially since, like, yeah, you have a story mode, you have battle modes, you have, like, this game is unlimited. You can play it forever. But you can also do that with a lot of other games. So this one being the choice it gets, kind of sad. Now, on the other hand, GoldenEye. This is by far one of the best shooters, in my opinion. I had to say that because one of my friends thinks I'm crazy for saying this is one of the best shooters ever. This and Doom 1 and 2, the classics. I love a good classic shooter. And this game's incredible for that. I love GoldenEye 007. I love constantly just popping it in and playing it on my 64 with the controller, which we can't talk about, unfortunately. But with GoldenEye, not only do you get just like a really good shooter game, you get a really good multiplayer game where everyone can just play together. No, like, figuring out adapters, no cheat codes. Well, you can add cheat codes for the fun of it. But this guy, you just plug in 4 controllers, go to multiplayer, and you're having the time of your life. I was playing multiplayer with my friends using the XBLA version with a modded 360. That's a different thing. But that was so much fun. Oh my god, I love GoldenEye. Just stupid things like rockets flying everywhere, people just going around hitting you with a knife. The snipers, the goddamn snipers. I'm sorry. I was thinking of that day, and it's just goddamn. It's such a stupid game to play with multiplayer, but it is so much fun. There's so much chaos going on. If you can get everyone together, 4 players, you're gonna have a good time. If you can get it online as well, online probably is even more fun because you don't know what's gonna happen. Everyone's in their own little space. You can't screen look. Well, maybe you can. I don't know how that works. But still, that is super cool. Multiplayer is so much fun in this game. It kind of sucks that there is no actual way to replay this game online. And I'm saying that because one, there's the Switch and Xbox One version. The Xbox One version, I don't like it. It changes too much for bad things. Like audio sounds bad. And that sucks because the music in this game is incredible. Like it's probably, everyone talks about it as a joke, like the pause menu. But just all the songs in this game, incredible. And if I could ever meet the composer, I would say this is the best soundtrack you've ever done, probably. I haven't heard all of them. I'm sorry. I think it's Grant Kirkhope. I'm sorry, man. I'll play more of the games you composed in. But I like GoldenEye. This is good. Everyone who worked on GoldenEye, you guys are fucking geniuses. This game is peak. Especially on the 64 with all the stupid lag, the stupid frame rate. Everything's just stupid, but in a good way. The story's great. The story I don't feel like is stupid. What I think is stupid is everything around it. Everything looks blocky, everything's slow. The controls are kind of funky where in this game if you strafe, you go faster. Like if you're going side to side, if you're going up and down, you're kind of slow. But if you start strafing, you start going faster for some reason, and it's really funny. I don't know if the new versions have that. Maybe the XBLA one I don't think does. But like the Xbox One and Switch versions, they do. The Switch, of course, because it's just the N64 version. This game's excellent, though. Especially for the N64. You're really going to be competing with other games, but this game could stand on its own. Just for single player and multiplayer. Both of them are very replayable. And that brings us to our next console. I'm thirsty. Hold on, just give me 1 second to talk about the PS1. I am thirsty though. Hold on. But while I'm talking, the PS1, pretty cool. Especially since it is a CD. What the fuck? Ignore that game, please. Just ignore it. As I was saying, PS1, it's pretty cool. We're gonna be talking about without the memory card for now. What sucks is the games it got picked. NBA Shootout 2003. Yay. The Final Fantasy Chronicles. You see the problem? 2 2D games. 1 sports game. Oh my god, this is gonna really flop. Especially since the PS1, it has some wonderful games. Like, I don't know. Crash Bandicoot. That's a pretty good game. But no. We're stuck here with NBA Shootout 2003. Let's talk about it. It's a disc. A black disc. Oh, it's scratched. It works. I tested it. I bought this for like $1. I didn't think it would be that good. It's not that good, but it isn't bad, which is weird to say because it's not NBA Jam quality. Like, it's not. It'll never be NBA Jam, but it's not horrible. Let me get it's advertising the PS2. That's kind of sad. This is also 2003. PS1 was already kind of old. But Let me see, is there any photos? There's no photos of the game? Ah, that means I have to add photos. But, there's your controllers. But, for NBA Shootout 2003, it's okay. One of the things I noticed was the camera. Camera was actually pretty good. Doesn't help that the game wasn't. The game is slow. The game is stuttery. The game isn't what you would really want from a sports game. Especially since NBA Jam was on PlayStation. It was during that era. Sure, it wasn't that good either because of the big loading times, but Shootout 2003 ain't that good. There's good characters because they're real players, you know. It is multiplayer, but it's only 1 to 2 players, and memory cards. These little guys. This is one that just you plug in a micro SD card. You have all the memory you need. The Sega Saturn has inbuilt memory. The N64 doesn't need any of that because it's a cartridge based, but it does have memory cards. This guy was the first to do like buying extra memory, and we're going to be seeing that from here to probably another generation. But memory cards kind of suck because on PS1 they could only hold like 12 games of data or less depending on your game. Like if your game took up 2 blocks, like 2 little icons worth of data, that's a lot of data. Or like your game was like, oh, here's your customizability, then your game, then system data. That's a lot of blocks. Or you're like, I think Harvest Moon took up 4. Yeah, that's nice. Take up all the blocks. Take up all the blocks, NBA Shootout 2003. I will say, CD, you get pretty good audio. There's an announcer, and he's pretty good. Like, he's constantly talking. But at some point, he starts talking, and he's supposed to say a line like, oh, he's passing to this player. But that already happened, and so it's like, passed it to, oh no, someone else passed it to someone else. It's weird. But it's not bad. Like, it's still a okay basketball game. Like, you could do worse. Like, genuinely, you could do worse. But our next game, or I should say games, is the Final Fantasy Chronicles. I bought this brand new. This wasn't that expensive. It was sealed, but it was kind of weird. Anyways, this is Final Fantasy IV and Chrono Trigger. And as you can see, you can just open one side, open the other. You have 2 games. We're going to quickly talk about both of these because I don't really care for Final Fantasy IV. Wasn't really that fun for me. And I'm sorry, Final Fantasy IV fans. I couldn't get into it. I really couldn't. Like, something smells burning. I don't give a shit. With the Final Fantasy IV game, it's just like, it's slow. Final Fantasy games have always been slow. But I felt like it was slower than Chrono Trigger, and Chrono Trigger is so much fun. But Final Fantasy IV, couldn't get into it, and no matter the added content, which is like 3D graphics, and then you go back to Super Nintendo 2D graphics, which is another thing. This game doesn't help its case. 3D sports game. 2D Super Nintendo games. Like, genuinely, just Super Nintendo games with maybe some cutscenes here and there. Like, this game has these anime cutscenes. This game, 3D. Yay. I will say, though, they're not too bad on CD. Like, these games, they're pretty fun. Chrono Trigger is really good. Especially since this game was like $30. Chrono Trigger definitely is worth more than $30 on the Super Nintendo alone. Or the DS. So getting to play Chrono Trigger for the PlayStation was fun. Until it corrupted my data and I couldn't play anymore. That's a different thing. This still is really fun. This is a great game. Chrono Trigger is. Final Fantasy IV, but they don't do very well. This would have done well as a Super Nintendo competitor. Like, or as the Super Nintendo's choices, somewhat. This doesn't do very well for the PlayStation because its graphics are outdated compared to everything else, like the Saturn. Yeah, Bubble Symphony is old too, but it looks colorful, it looks different. It's not on any other consoles, I think. Final Fantasy IV and Chrono Trigger were both on the Super Nintendo, and the Super Nintendo could do a lot more. Chrono Trigger, though, I will admit, Chrono Trigger looks really good, and I will say, if you were to play this first on PlayStation, you would be pretty impressed. This game is actually probably worth your time on PlayStation. It was worth my time when I bought my PlayStation. But as a PlayStation, probably worst choices you could have made. On the back, you have a serial port. I think that was for more multiplayer, and a parallel port. And these both got removed later on. Serial, you could play 2-player with like unplugging one into the other console. Like that's the 2-player. Parallel, I don't know what they use this for. I know there's like a video CD adapter. Not official, but you know. How much did I pay for this? 50. Okay, 50 ain't bad. 50 for a PlayStation? This ain't a bad guy, and it works fine. It wobbles. Just in case you like a wobbly console. I mean, you could do a lot worse than the original PlayStation. Like, you could, I don't know, buy a Saturn. That was expensive at the time. This was $299, I think. We're not talking about prices, though, because, like I said, prices don't matter. But, you know, if you were to get a PlayStation 1, a memory card, and Chrono Trigger, you'd have a good time. And I'm saying memory card because if you don't have a memory card, this game's useless to you. You can't play more than, like a couple hours, and then you'll just be like, oh, wait, I can't save. And then you can never play again from that point. Unless you keep your console on, but what if someone just goes, haha, no more Chrono Trigger for you. Then you can't play anymore. Memory cards kind of just work. They kind of suck. And I'm glad we don't have those anymore. Other than like buying extra storage, like a micro SD card for your system. Or like a hard drive. Like that's extra stuff. You don't need a memory card anymore, I think. Unless you want one. This guy, though, as it stands, probably isn't going to win. This guy is probably going to fail horribly. Especially if you're comparing it to the N64. 4 players, no memory cards, GoldenEye 007. That's already really good. This guy, you got the basketball, and you got the Final Fantasy. And pick your poison, my friend. You got 1, and you got 2. That's all you get. Well, technically you get 3, but who wants to play Final Fantasy IV? You can play the Pixel Remaster. Why did I do the voice? I'm just gonna take another sip of my drink. We're going to the next console. Sorry, PlayStation. We're at the Dreamcast! Oh my god, we're finally here. This guy is actually really cool. You know, ignore the fact that mine kind of can pop out. It has no screws at the bottom. I bought mine from some guy, and it did not have... It works. It works perfectly. It just, you know... You can take the top off. So, ignore that. You know, the cool thing is, 4 ports. We're getting to a new generation where ports, there's going to be 4 of them now. Every time. I paid $20 for this. And that came with a second Dreamcast. Yeah. I got 2 of these things. The other one's broken. This doesn't work. Oh, Crazy Taxi. We'll talk about that for a bit because it isn't the choice of the games. The games it got... Get that bottle out of here. We got Sonic Shuffle. Yay. And NFL 2K1. The only physical Dreamcast game I own. Reason being, this thing can just play burned CDs. If you have a model like a 1 or a 0, you can just play a burned CD of a game if you burn it properly. Which kind of sucks for this guy because, you know, this guy was pretty high tech. You know, you got power, that's pretty high tech. You got video, pretty high tech. You got a serial port. I don't think they used it for anything. And a line. You can connect to the internet on this thing. Connect to the internet with this bad boy. Play some Quake 3 Arena. I like Quake 3 Arena. That's a good game. But more importantly, it was like one of its kind. Like one of a kind. Especially since, you know, this is a burned CD, but this is a GD-ROM. It's a CD, but it holds more data. And this game was like $1 at Goodwill. I bought it only because it said Dreamcast on it and the game looked like it was playable. As a game on its own, I don't like it. I've never liked football as a sport. Never liked football as a game. NFL Blitz sucks. I'm sorry. I can't get into it. It ain't NFL Jam. Why did I say that? It is not like NBA Jam. It's not like another game that got picked. This game, it sucks. It's not even baseball. Baseball's good on Dreamcast. We didn't even get a baseball game. We got Sonic Shuffle. And this game sucks. This was a bad choice. Granted, it uses all 4 ports. I think so does this game. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, you can use all 4 ports. This console had a lot of good 4-player games. Sonic Shuffle isn't one of them. This is if you took Mario Party and really messed with it. Like, it's not fun anymore. It was slow. It was boring. And it involved cards and mini games, and like the mini games were meh. The cards sucked. The boards sucked. It wasn't very fun. And that's really unfortunate because a Sonic Party game could do very well. I really think you did your best. You could do more than Sonic Shuffle. Even if the disc is a nice blue. I liked these. I wish I had more of these colored ones. I have the verbatim, like the Saturn and other consoles show. But this guy, this is nice. The thing about NFL 2K1 is it's timed. As soon as you bought the next gen system, you could have a game similar to this. That doesn't say it's a bad game. Sega Sports, they made pretty good games. They were making really good games during the Dreamcast era. My favorites were probably the World Series Baseball. And probably basketball. Those were pretty good on Dreamcast. Nice little sticker. But the thing about this console was, this game isn't fun. The thing about the console is, it's graphically beautiful. These games look nice. I don't know if they have pictures in-game. But like these tiny little photos, they don't like show the true like graphics of the Dreamcast game. Like this game looks good for the Dreamcast. Look at that picture. It's as big as my thumb. That's the graphics right there. What's this? This is Randy Moss. I don't know who this is. That's pretty cool. He's pretty tall. He's as tall as the Dreamcast by cinema roll. Actually, he's taller than the Dreamcast. Cool. But this game doesn't sell it to me. Like, no matter how nice it looks pretty good for the Dreamcast. Like, World Series Baseball, 2K1 or 2K2, that game's really good on Dreamcast. It's kind of slow. Not like because I'm playing on a bootleg, but that's good. That's fun. The basketball was fun too. And this isn't. This wasn't fun. But if you were a sports fan, the Dreamcast has some good sports games. Like this, if you're a football fan, I'm sure if I gave this to my cousin and said, hey, try it for me, what do you think? He'd probably be like, it's football. It's football. And I'd be like, okay, I don't care. Online multiplayer, though. This was the generation of online. This came with online. You just plug this guy into here, and you're online. And I think that's cool. There was a lot of good online games like Quake. Propeller Arena was canceled, but it would have been a really good online game. I'm sorry, I've been really playing Propeller Arena. I think the baseball game was online. You have 2 buttons, power and open. And open reveals Crazy Taxi. I'll just quickly talk about Crazy Taxi. I think it was a launch game. Really good. Really good. Accurate to the arcade. I play it on Dreamcast all the time. Probably my favorite racing arcade game. Do you want to see the inside of my Dreamcast? Ta-da. Yay. I need to replace that battery. The battery on this thing is dead. But yeah, this is probably the only console where I can just lift it and see the components. Because there's no screws. The screws are just missing. I don't know where they went. I bought it without the screws. I was like, okay, well, I'll have to buy the screws online. Never did. Who needs to? The console works fine. Maybe I'll go to Home Depot and buy like a pack of screws that fit the system. I don't know. But genuinely, just pop a disc in. What the hell? There we go. Pop a disc in, close the system. And it's loud. This thing is a loud system. Like, louder than the Saturn, louder than the PlayStation. Ooh, it is. That's probably a very bad downfall to this system. It is loud. And I feel very bad for it. Because it's just a really loud console. Like, if you've never owned a Dreamcast, and the only consoles you've owned are modern systems, maybe the Wii, this thing's louder than the Wii. And it'll be loud. It constantly will make noise. And that sucks for you, because this thing ain't getting quieter. But if you love arcade ports, this thing has some of the best. And I love this thing. Even if the 2 games that were picked are bad, I will still play Sonic Shuffle. I will not play this. There's a hair in my mouth. Thanks a lot, NFL. Oh, bleh. This thing, unfortunate that it got these picks. It should have gotten Crazy Taxi. Crazy Taxi could have saved this. These 2 games probably can't. And that's going to move us to our next system, which is unfortunately going to be very low on the list. The PlayStation 2. You notice how I didn't pause this time. Why the Dreamcast is still in shot. Because this is going to be a very quick talk. Because my PS2 cannot read games on disc. It uses this memory card to play free McBoot and play bootlegs off of a USB. But I have memories of the PS2, and I'm going to pick the 2 games I had when I grew up. Sonic Mega Collection Plus and Kingdom Hearts. Those 2 games are going to be its little competitor. I don't have them on hand because they're both gone. Maybe Kingdom Hearts in this house somewhere. Don't know where. My original PS2, my good friend Luis has it now. And he's using it for his own things, like playing Persona 4. Eating it. He probably ate it. Haven't checked on him in that PS2 in a while. But the PS2, pretty cool guy. Look at this guy. He's gonna. Ooh. Do you see that? Does he get points for this? Oh. But in all seriousness, the PS2 is honestly a pretty cool system. Especially since it was the #1 selling system of all time. Yay. People bought this. People bought this thing. And there's a lot of games on here. But Sonic Mega Collection Plus, pretty good first game for me at least. You get ton of Sonic games. You get Sonic 3. You don't need the Genesis anymore. Throw that thing away. You get Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. Well, let's be honest. You get Sonic 1, 2, 3, Knuckles. Sonic 3 and Knuckles if you unlock it. Sonic 2 and Knuckles if you unlock it. The Blue Spheres if you unlock it. But if you don't unlock anything, you get 1, 2, 3 and Knuckles. You get Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. A Sonic Spinball. Sonic 3D Blast. And then you get the Game Gear games. There's like 1, 2, Triple Trouble, and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine again, and then Sonic, the racing one, whatever that's called. Sonic Drift. And then you can unlock some other stuff like the Ooze and Flicky. I remember unlocking Flicky. I loved Flicky. What I didn't love was that when I first got my PS2, I didn't have memory cards. I didn't even have official controllers. I had a GameStop controller. I had this like Phoenix controller or whatever it's called. It was see-through blue and it broke. And I think I had another GameStop controller. I did have another game, Tekken something. Don't know which Tekken, but I'm not considering it because I did not play it enough. Hell, I don't even think I have it. I don't think I had it when I had my PS2. I had Sonic Mega Collection and Kingdom Hearts. And Kingdom Hearts was so beautiful. It was such a wonderful game. Too bad I didn't have a memory card, so I kept replaying the game. And that version didn't let you skip cutscenes. So it was not fun. But if you look at those two games as just like games, memory cards are included, controllers, you have the official ones, you have everything. You have a good collection of Genesis games and just extra content like little videos, little comics, just illustrations in general. That is a very nice game for a kid, because as a kid you get all these games. You can play Sonic 1, you can play Sonic 2, you can play Sonic 2 again. You can keep playing Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine because everyone likes it and you just call it a Tetris clone, but it's actually Puyo Puyo and you love Puyo Puyo. Thank you, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. And Kingdom Hearts was Disney. I love Disney. I loved Kingdoms. Nah, I don't know if I really like Kingdoms, but I loved Disney and that game was so cool. And the PS2 was just like a really cool system with all these games, and I didn't have any games. I had Sonic Heroes and Sonic and SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, which was good. But Kingdom Hearts couldn't get past, what was it? It wasn't Tarzan. It was, I think it was afterwards where you had to like go back to Traverse Town. Didn't know how to do that. And I just never beat Kingdom Hearts. Still haven't to this day. And the funny thing was, I also had Kingdom Hearts that same day, or Kingdom Hearts 2 that same day. I bought them both together because it was like a bundle. Actually, I don't think it was a bundle. I think I just bought them because they were at Goodwill for like a 2-for-1 deal. And I just played Kingdom Hearts 2. I got further in 2 than I did 1. And that was a beautiful, beautiful experience. That got me really addicted to Kingdom Hearts. So much, in fact, I haven't beaten any of them since, except the DS one, Recoded. That's a different story. But that's the end for this guy, because it does not have anything for me. This next console is probably going to be a bit more special. The Gamecube. Notice how it's really tall. It has a Game Boy player attached. But let me see if I can. We're going to just deal with it. The Gamecube. Oh my god, I love the Gamecube. I paid $50 for this one. And there's an actual story to the Gamecube. Me and the Gamecube in general. But that's going to be for its own thing. Now, the two games. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. Mario Superstar Baseball. These are probably going to be a very good competition between all the other games. This is probably one of the best Tony Hawk games ever. Not only that, it's probably one of the best GameCube games. That's a very big exaggeration, but you know, Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 3. It is wonderful. You can play together, which, I mean, unfortunately, there's no 4 players. Even if the console has 4 players, and you need memory cards, and you have to buy a Game Boy player. But it's cool because Tony Hawk is such a good game. Good music, good stages, good characters. Make a character. It's fun. My voice is dying, but it's fun. It's just plain fun. And you can spend hours in this game. I do all the time. I love Pro Skater 3. Nothing will beat it. Not even 1 and 2. Maybe. That's a hard choice because I really love the stages in 3. Like the Foundry. I love Foundry. This game is wonderful. And it's also tiny. I think there's a game in here. We're not talking about Tom Clancy. Ugly man. These discs are tiny. Look at this thing. Look at it. Little hole. These things are so small. Hold on, let me show you this one. It's all scratched up. Ignore it. But these things are tiny. And the console just gently put it in. I think this is my favorite because you can just press it and the games come out. No other system does that. I know because I own all these systems. But you get a reset button, get power, get an eject button. You just push the button to get the disc out. So nice. This console is wonderful. Because 4 players, 2 memory card slots. Unfortunately, memory cards are a thing. But another wonderful 4-player system. And the thing about this system was there were so many good multiplayer games. Case in point, Mario Superstar Baseball. Apology for the weird box art. I printed this out because I didn't actually have a case for this game. But this game is wonderful. As a sports game, it's great. As a Mario game, it's great. This was made by Namco, if I'm correct. Does it say their name anywhere? It probably doesn't because of this box art, but I'm pretty sure Namco did make it down here at the bottom. Namco, 2005. This game is wonderful as a sports game. It is good as a Mario game too, because everyone can play it. It's simple, it's fun, and there's so many characters. Like, you can play as a Goomba. You can play as a Goomba. Or a Pianta. There's so many characters in this game. It is so much fun. And it's 4 players, right? Yeah, it's simultaneous 4 players. The amount of games here that are multiplayer is absurd, but it's wonderful. You get a lot of games to play with your friends. And you just pop a disc in and just play. So many classics on here. But as this game is, you can get all your friends together to play some baseball, or you can 1v1 in Pro Skater 3. Or if you just have 2 people, boom, you have 2 good multiplayer games. And they are also just really good single player games. There's a story mode to this one. There's a career mode in this one. There's unlockables. There's unlockable characters. There's unlockable stages. There's a lot to do in these games. You won't get bored with these. They're fun. So what if they're not 3D platformers? They're both 3D. They both look nice. And one's Tony Hawk. Look at him. Look at him. He loves the Gamecube. I love the Gamecube. See, he loves it. Trust Tony Hawk. He loves the Gamecube. He loves... I'm sorry. But as the console stands, it's probably the first console so far that had an expansion. The Game Boy player. Play Game Boy games. We're not going to talk about that much, but still, play your Game Boy games. There's Game Boy games. One of my favorites is Pac-Man Versus. It's really fun. Give it a try. But yeah, 4 players is becoming the common thing. PS2 didn't do it though. We don't like those people anyways. But still, we're getting to a generation where things are changing. Games are getting more multiplayer. Split screen is just becoming a topic that everyone has together. You know, everyone comes over, pops in a disc, and plays. Not that game specifically, that's Tom Clancy, no one likes him. But, you know, multiplayer. And the controllers were perfect for that. But we can't talk about that. That's sad. But I really do think these games are also just amazing choices. Like, this is the first time in a while where a console's actually going to compete with some of the other consoles. Like, these are good. These are two good games. Sure, it's not a lot of games, but you know, baseball and skateboarding. Those are pretty cool. People like baseball. People love skateboarding. People love Mario. People love Tony Hawk. Those are some names. No one gives a shit about NBA. No one gives a shit about NFL. Who are those people? Who are you? Who are you? This guy's huge. This is the OG Xbox. This one specifically has been modded. Hard modded. I bought it for like 20 bucks, 10 bucks, 20 bucks. The Xbox is itself pretty good system. You know, you got 4 players, you got a eject button, you got a power button. I think what's cool about this system though, hold on, is the fact that it has not only video, internet. This is the second console that has like internet inbuilt. I apologize for it looking very ugly. I haven't really put the time into cleaning it. Most of my consoles I like to keep kind of clean. Only thing that really is dirty is dust. Dust gets on these. This guy, he came dirty from whatever home he got. But games, it's the one, the only NBA Street V3. I was really hoping for something like Halo, or like Jet Set Radio Future, or not a sports game. But this actually is a pretty good sports game. It ain't on the same level as NBA Jam, but it is a really fun sports game. This was also on the Gamecube, and Mario was in that one. So this one loses points for no Mario, but it is a really fun basketball game. Weird. You know, there's online multiplayer too. So this was the online generation. I really feel like Xbox started that. You know, people were playing Halo online. They were playing Project Gotham Racing online. I was playing Project Gotham Racing online. I played it recently using Insomnia or something that it was called. A fan server. Really good. But NBA Street V3. Pretty fun. It changes a lot from what I'm used to being like 2v2. This is 3v3, you know, v3 versus 3. Or version 3 if you'd like to call it that. I call it versus 3. Because I'm stupid. This game's fun though. It's kind of slow in a way. Like, they're still fast paced, but like moving from one side to the other is definitely a lot slower than NBA Jam once was. But that's okay, because it's still a pretty fun game. And if you're looking for speed, this ain't your pick. This is, yeah, NHL Hits Pro. This game is probably the best hockey game ever. Period. No competition. I will not play NHL 24 or 5. I don't give a shit. This is peak. This was made by the people, the only next level games. Right there. And they made one hell of a hockey game. This is so much fun. It is such a good time, genuinely. And it's just fun. It's just classic arcadey fun. Made by Midway Sports. Well, published, I guess. But specifically, ooh, I didn't know that was in there. I didn't really care for the manual. I just wanted to play the game. This game is just fast-paced hockey. It's fun. Look at that. You play there. Is that a graphic? There's a graphic. This game looks good too. And I guess that's also just because it's the new generation. Like, take the Dreamcast graphics and pump it up a notch or two. That's the Xbox's graphics. Especially in sports games, these both look really good. Maybe this one looks a lot better than this one, because this was made by, like, very simple standards. It felt like it was arcadey, so the graphics are a bit toned down, but it looked pretty good. This just looks a lot better. Probably because you're a lot closer than here, because in NBA Street 3, you're kind of like in a camera. Like, for example, you'd be kind of seeing a player like this. Side profile or like this, really close to the screen. NHL Hits kind of puts you above, so you kind of see everything. There's my bottle cap. And so it's kind of zoomed out. But they're still both wonderful games. And guess what? They're both 4-player multiplayer games. Perfect for you and your friends all together just playing. This console can do HD, and I think these both are HD games. No, these are not HD games. Well, this one is. This is an HD game. This one isn't. But you can still play them on HD. I don't know about widescreen, though. OG Xbox gives you... Xbox 360 backwards compatibility gives you problems with both. But on OG hardware, it is such a good time. It's fun. Get all your friends together. Play some Xbox. If you had, like... If these were different choices, 4-player... System Link, then you have so many more people together. Such a big group of people. It's a lot of fun. For example, I would say what would be the coolest, funniest thing is if this game did System Link. It doesn't. If it's not zoomed in. This would be so cool because you could just do 3 players on one side, 3 players on the other. Then it's a true 3v3 game. But this game actually does 5-on-5. So then V3 would do that better. Does it? No. That'd be cool though. System Link 3v3. I think that's what they do with live. So if it has that little live, it's online. This game isn't. NHL, no. But as quick as I'm talking, it's because these games are quick paced. They're fast. They're fun. And these games can stand on their own with the Xbox, I feel. Like the PS1. That sucked. That was a slow game. This is slow, but you can do a lot of cool tricks, and the game just gets fun. It's not a very straightforward game. The other one felt straightforward. This one, it's a little more magical. And NHL Hits, oh, it is magic. It's fun, it's fast, it's violent. Not the kind of violent you think, but you can slam into each other. You can throw the puck around. You can throw the puck from one side to the other. That's fun. Fun is just everything going crazy. And just everything's cool. There's copyrighted music in both these games. So it's not like I can record them and just have, like, play video for them, because they usually will get me in trouble. Doesn't mean I care, though. Yeah, pump up the music. I'm just kidding. But still, fun games. Fun. That's all you really need. Just everyone just having fun. And these games give you fun. Which unfortunately means this is the end for this generation of everyone together. As the next gen, and then on, will be kind of multiplayer online. Everything's going to be kind of online-ish, unfortunately. Except for one console. I think you know, but we're getting to the end. We're really close. I think we have like 6-7 consoles left. Maybe 8. Yeah, so let's get on with it. Now our next guy here is the start of a new generation and the end of something classic. The Wii. Ignore the sticker on here. I grabbed this Wii because as I like my childhood Wii. You know, that's the one I got. But this one looks the cleanest. You know, it has these still. It has this black panel. Mine doesn't. So I use this one for the video to be nice. The Wii was the start of something new. Motion controls. But there were still a lot of good games. And this also stayed with the tried and true local gaming. As much as there was online, you saw all your friends still playing together in the house most of the time. With also just some experimental little online things like Mario Kart, or like a couple Call of Duties, or, you know, our game choice, Super Smash Bros. Brawl. This was a good choice. This is a game I grew up with. Oh my god, I love Super Smash Bros. Brawl. This game is wonderful. And if you like Super Smash Bros. Brawl, you'll like these games. But yeah, this is my copy. My copy did come in a black case, but I replaced it with this white case just because it looks better in the long run. But our second game is We Play. So we get both sides, the like gamer side and like the casual side. As this also started casual gaming and motion gaming. So, you know, everything was a bit different. You know, because as you see on the back side of this guy, there's no HDMI. There's just an AV. There's a sensor bar, power, USBs, and that's it. A couple fans. Like this is a fan. This is like a spits out. Ew. Yuck! I need to clean that. But yeah, the sensor bar was probably the weirdest thing. Because motion controls, you know, We Play, for instance, definitely took advantage of that. Like, you know, playing ping pong or playing billiards. I love the tanks. I love the, like, target shooting. I love tanks. Ping pong's fun, but I prefer this one, the laser tag and the cow. The cow's the fun one. I love the cow. But this really brought people together. Like, you probably bought this, the Wii, you had Wii Sports. That's a pretty good game. Like, a pretty good time. You get a lot of games for that. Sure, they're like micro games, but everyone can enjoy them. But if you were like, if you're like a little kid and you're just like, I don't want to play Wii Play anymore. Well, then you know what? You're old enough now. Play Super Smash Bros. Brawl. It's rated T for teen. Fighting game of the year. Look at him. Look at that guy. He doesn't give a fuck. He hates you. They all hate you. Except him. Everyone else is kind of pissed off. Pikachu's meh. Look at this guy. Who are you? Freak? Who's this guy? Who are you? Ugly? I'm sorry. Weird how it doesn't show GameCube controller support. GameCube was so, like, start of the Wii. Like, this console, you could use it, but you couldn't. Another thing I didn't mention is this is, like, the start of using more DVDs. Because PS2 and Xbox, they use DVDs. But now everything uses DVDs or Blu-ray. We'll get to that. But this guy has a nice manual. Let me see these GameCube controllers in here somewhere. Here we go. Look at that guy. I love this manual. It's such a thick manual. Even if it starts saying movimientos básicos. If it starts speaking different languages. My voice is dying, as you can tell. We're getting to the end now. I definitely think with these two games and the console, you're getting to a point where you're having a good time. No matter what. We're not including Wii Sport. Why did you fall? Anyways, we don't include Wii Sports, even if it was included with the system. Because I don't have it right here, do I? I don't have Wii Sport. I think. But We Play, definitely a really good time. You're still going to have fun no matter what. You might get bored of it, but if you get bored of that, you got Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Play it with your friends. Play it online. Play the story mode, the Subspace Emissary. That's fun. Difficult, but fun. The Wii itself is fun. Look at this thing. Why do you look like this? Why does your thing break off? That took me a second. Why does it break off? I'm just kidding. The controllers are wireless now. Every controller from now on is going to be wireless. We're in a different generation now. But the games are still good quality. And I'm glad that we're still having fun. No matter how much you have to waggle, no matter how much you trip, it's still fun. You can get all your friends together and play some fun games. And I like that. That's great. And this was also like the consumer. Everyone had a Wii, basically. But we're getting to the next few consoles where we're getting a little uncasual. We're getting gamer. We're getting gamer again. We play. No, we don't. We game. And what better way to game than with the Xbox 360? Slim. You gotta slim it out. This is a gamer's console, guys. We're also gonna play Forza Motorsports 3 and Cars. Yeah, Cars. Actually, I meant Cars as in the vehicle. Cars the video game? I like Cars the video game. It's fun. Does it have a manual? It does. It has the manual. Sweet. This game is actually really fun. At least, in my opinion, I really like Cars the video game. It, honestly, as a video game, it looks kind of like the movie. It even has Owen Wilson in it. It's Cars. But the video game. Genuinely, it's pretty fun. On 360, it's HD. You drive around. You're this guy. Get her done, man. Hey, what's up, man? That's what he sounds like. That's Ramon. I think it's Cheech. Cheech. 'Cause Chong is this one, right? No, not him. Not that guy. There we go. This guy. He goes and he says the word. He says it. This guy, look at him. He would say that. But no, genuinely, this is a fun game. And definitely one of a kind. Because this was also the era of what I would say is like movie tie-ins. They were getting really good or really, really bad. Like, you had Cars the video game, you had Ratatouille, you had Toy Story 3. We also had like Shrek the Third, which I did a video on, which isn't a bad game. It's just, I'd rather play Cars. Cars was fun. And as we were saying, it's DVD. The consoles are getting wireless. No longer is there a cable to the chair. There's nothing unless you bought a console with a cable controller. Like, you couldn't afford the wireless pack. But if you bought a Slim, you didn't have to worry about that. And, also, just speaking this now, we're at the end of memory cards. Yay! This guy has inbuilt memory. This guy has 250 gigs inside. Where is it? It's the other side. This guy can just pop out the hard drive. The Wii has some memory inside too, but this guy, 250 gigs inbuilt. Look at that thing. What the hell is that? Thank you for doing that for me, Cameron. That was good. But yeah, consoles were getting inbuilt memory. Like, if you didn't buy a 250 gig model, there was still 4 gigabytes in some of these models. That's pretty good. You could save data. You probably couldn't play Forza Digby. Man, get out of here. You definitely could download games. Like, this is the install disc. We were getting to that era where games were getting really big. So if you didn't have a hard drive, you probably weren't going to play the game. But there's also the play disc, so you can play the game. There's also a Zune card. Does this have a code? Okay, thank you for not having a code. That's my code. My code, guys. See, this is my code. But yeah, we were getting to the internet era. You could update your game. You could download content. You could, for some reason, have a Digby card in there. But yeah, multi-discs to download a game, then play the game. Or you could even just download the game and then have the game installed on your hard drive. Like, if you didn't want to use the disc because it was making noise or it was making the console hot, you could download it on the 360. I don't know about the next guy, but this was like a normal thing. And as a multiplayer game, Cars does 2 players. Does Forza also does split screen. These are good racing games and split screen. Forza Motorsports 3, I don't have much to say about. because it's kind of boring. Like, Cars, you can say a lot about it. It has characters, it has fun, it has copyrighted music. This has copyrighted music, but it has real cars, it has real licenses, real tracks. It's kind of it. It's just a really realistic racing game. So if you're really a big fan of real games, and you don't like Forza Horizon, then Forza Motorsports is your pick. But if you don't like Gran Turismo, Forza Motorsports you might not like either. But this is still a fun game. I would just prefer Cars. But I also just like a good racing game, so I will prefer both of these over it. They're fun. They're racing. And multiplayer's big on this system too. Since controllers are wireless now, cables are going away, controllers are becoming just like battery guzzlers. The Wii, 2 batteries, 362 batteries. The next guy was rechargeable, which is kind of cool. We'll get to him, freak. But, you know, games were getting cheaper. You know, you could buy an arcade game and it was like $5 to $10, maybe 20 the max. And those were smaller games. They were not on discs like this. They were just small little games, sometimes being older games from last generation. Like, you could play a version of NBA Jam on the 360. Not a good version, not the classic, but an NBA Jam. That's pretty cool. You could play... What kind of game could you play? You could just buy Sonic 3 on here. I did. You could buy Sonic 3 for $5 and just play it on here. No cartridge, just press A and play. Well, wait for the loading screens, then click on the hard drive and then play. Whatever. But yeah, games were getting cheaper. But if you still wanted to play a 360 game, you had them on discs. Or later on, you could just buy them and just play them on your hard drive. Tap, 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 tap. This isn't a button. Nothing here is buttons. At least they're not like physical click down. Well, you could click down. Doesn't sound like you should. This is a button. Weird. But yeah, we're getting to the HD generation where you see here, that's becoming the standard. Everyone wants that. 3 USBs. Connect. We don't want the Connect. But yeah, Xbox. I like it, but the choices of the games could have been a little bit better, honestly. But that leads us to our next console. Let's go on. My friends, the PS Triple, the PS3. This is the slim one. Does it? Weird console. This is the slimmer model because I was not bringing out the fat PS3 for this. I don't use that thing. But as a PS3, pretty cool. Except the part where it does this. I don't like that. You know, just like usual. HD system. Digital audio. We don't talk about digital audio. You can still do AV, which is good. Ethernet, just in case you want to play online. Because these are becoming online systems. This console, like the others, has a hard drive. I think 100 something, maybe 250, like this Xbox, not sure. But we're talking about games, and we got Minecraft, all-time classic, Michael Jackson: The Experience. Interesting choice. You'd think you would get that on Xbox or Wii, but we got the PS3. This is a weird console because, of course, Minecraft on PS3, pretty cool. This is a classic. We're also getting to this generation where Blu-ray is becoming the thing. These things are very nice. They're very smooth compared to a DVD. And the console likes them. Eat it. Eat it. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. You know, as everything is getting wireless, things are changing, you know? I think Blu-ray's kind of cool But the games didn't really need Blu-ray sometimes. Like this could have been on a DVD. It was on 2 different DVDs. It was on the PSP. It's on the DS. This game was on everything. Minecraft was on everything as well. But I think the PS3 is pretty good at Minecraft. Maybe not as good as the 360, but I mean, this thing is powerful. The PS3, it's a weird little guy. Or big guy, depending on the system you own. But I like the games on it. Especially since this console, out of the box, just backwards compatible with the PS1. Pop a disc in, play. So, you know, if you really want to play NBA Showdown 2003 or whatever it was called, you can play it here. But why would you do that when you can play Minecraft? This game is awesome. Everyone knows Minecraft. It's hard to, like, talk about it. It's Minecraft. It's infinite. Infinite game. 4 players. Big world. HD. Like, look at that. HD video. You can play online with more people. Everyone can get in on Minecraft. Everyone loves it. It's getting a movie. The movie's probably going to be out by the time I upload this video. But this is a wonderful game for the PS3. I don't know about Michael Jackson, though. You need the PlayStation Move, which makes it a bit difficult. Because if you have a Wii, you just use the remotes. If you bought this on 360, you probably had to connect. I don't know many people who had a PlayStation Move. I don't even think I have a PlayStation Move. I just have this game in my collection. And oh, cool. Oh look, Michael Jackson. I don't think I could show footage of this game either because this game is copyrighted hell, man. It's just songs. It's songs and his dances. All of that stuff's copyrighted. But if you like a Just Dance with Michael Jackson, here he is, Michael Jackson. But upon the PS3, this also was just a good everything system. Just like the 360, but more. If you bought this, especially if you bought it as a slim system, you had a Blu-ray, DVD, CD player. 3-in-1. 3-in-1. Xbox 360 could do two of those, CDs, DVDs, or HD DVD with the adapter. No one gives a shit about HD DVD. This thing, you still can use this as a Blu-ray player, no matter what. It's a Blu-ray player. This thing's gonna last you forever until it eventually dies on you, but we don't talk about that. This thing also plays PS1, PS2, PS3. 3 generations. PS2 is a bit funky because PS2, you can't just put a disc in unless you have the really old model, which I do, but it doesn't work. But if you use the PS2, you can buy them. You can buy games on here. So you get a lot of generations of games, movies, audio, and streaming. Streaming just became the next gen. Xbox has it, PlayStation has it, Wii has it. But this thing I feel like has everything you need. You can go to the store, you could buy a DVD or Blu-ray and know it works on here. Or you can go and buy a game. Well, you can't really anymore, but you know what I mean. We're getting here. We're getting to this point where games are just being a little more special. There are more generations of HD. Games are getting bigger. Like, these are not good showcases of games getting bigger. But they are. Blu-ray can hold so much data. And I think that's pretty cool. But the PS3 with these two choices doesn't really compete well. Minecraft does put it up on the list though. It'll fight. Whatever it gets combated with, it'll fight. Because you can do anything in Minecraft. If it's fighting against the PS1, it loses. But if you're fighting and your competitor doesn't have a game and a good game and you have Michael Jackson experience, you might win. But if your competitor has, I don't know, NBA Jam, you're gonna lose. Michael Jackson can't beat NBA Jam. I'm sorry. He's cool, but I don't think he's cool enough to beat NBA Jam. Maybe Super Dodgeball and Mickey Mousecapade. We're gonna stop there. I don't think he can do it. Mickey Mouse versus Michael Jackson. All right, our next console is the Wii U, and you already saw the game. We'll get to the game, but this is probably one of my favorite consoles. So I'm gonna be biased. This sleek, glossy thing that apparently does not like my camera. Camera, just focus on something. Move back to improve focus. Good. Anyways, this guy is very special to me, and I think he got some good choices. Mario Kart 8 and Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, which you guys saw, of course, because I did that wrong. Anyways, these are pretty good games for this console, as long as Mario Kart 8 isn't being competed against itself, but deluxe, which I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it isn't. It's not. But as itself, Mario Kart 8 was constantly bundled with the Wii U. So like people were gonna buy a Wii U with Mario Kart 8 sometimes. And even then, it's Mario Kart 8. Everyone loves Mario Kart 8. This game is wonderful. You can drive upside down. That's pretty cool. I do have to admit, pretty cool. Everyone could play, because if you had Wii remotes or your friends had Wii remotes, they could bring them over, they could play. Sure, the game wasn't perfect, but hey, it's Mario Kart 8. Then there was DLC. This had it all. Especially if you were just like getting into playing video games. If you got Mario Kart 8 and a Wii U, you'd be pretty happy, like this lady. Yeah, she likes Mario Kart 8. What I do have to say though is this is the end of manuals. You want to see the Mario Kart 8 manual? That's it. You guys like it? It tells you how to drive. There's no like showing how the Wii U Pro controller works, but yeah. There's a digital manual, but there's this picture. Is there a picture of Mario in here? No, there's a picture of Mario here, but he's kind of everywhere. That's a lot of Mario. But still, this is a perfect game for like a console to be bundled with. And Kirby and the Rainbow Curse is pretty fun. It's a really good time. It isn't perfect, but it also shows off how the gamepad works. Because this one, you can honk the horn. I like honking the horn though. But this actually kind of justifies the Wii U's controller, which will be in its competition. But Kirby and the Rainbow Curse is also fun for friends. You can get everyone together. I've been playing it with a friend. So they were playing as the Waddle Dee and I'm playing as Kirby. It is a mix of chaos and like kind of cluttery, but like you still can get far. It depends on the level though, because sometimes what you see on the gamepad is also what they see on the TV, but sometimes it's also what you see on the gamepad isn't what they see on the TV. Sometimes they see more of the screen, but if you're kind of confined, you don't. Kirby Tank's fun. It was kind of stupid, but it was fun. It's a really fun game, genuinely good time. Definitely will combat with whatever it gets picked with. I'm sure it'll have a fighting chance because this is just a fun game with a beautiful art style. What might I add? This game looks good. Like it'll genuinely look good from here on out. Claymation, that's so cool. Kirby looks cool. Look at it. Look at that. Look at that line from the plastic. Even the gamepad on the back is a clay version of it. I think that's so cute. This game is cute, but this game is just fun. So like if your friends don't really like this one, I'm sure they'll love Mario Kart 8. Everyone likes Mario Kart. Even people who've never played Mario Kart before in their lives like Mario Kart when they try it. I don't know how well this stands up compared to its deluxe version, but you know, it's still a fun time. And I think it gives the Wii U a chance because the Wii U is a pretty cool console. You know, you have a USB port, an SD card slot, a USB port, HDMI, which is this is like the first HD Nintendo console. So like these games also just look really good. Like Mario Kart 8 still looks good to this day on the Wii U, and Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, it looks beautiful. So HD really gives it an advantage. But you know, you still got your audio video, you still got your serial. That's not serial, that's sensor bar. You also have the screw and the screws. Like it's a pretty basic console like design. So much so I put stickers on. This is like the only console I've ever put like stickers on, because I really don't like putting stickers on consoles that much. Like you saw a few of my consoles had stickers and then another majority of them don't. It's weird. The Wii U just seems so boring. As a design, it's a slab with a disc slot. And Kirby and the Rainbow Course is in the system because I was playing it. But this console also has a lot of good games, but also a lot of them are on other consoles now, but that still doesn't give it like a missing points, or like, oh, this console sucks because all of its best games are on something else, because that's not how this competition works. Yet. I don't know why I'm saying that. Let's just move on to the final 3. 6. I'm just kidding, it's 3. We're down to the final 3, and I can't wait. Let's get you out of the way and just get ready for the next console. God damn it, it's Xbox time. This thing also kind of looks like a gray brick. This is like, I think, a special edition. I don't know, I just got this from someone for cheap because they didn't want it anymore. And I didn't have an Xbox One. I had an Xbox Series S, but that's not going to be in this video because I don't own it anymore. Traded it for a computer, which is probably the best thing I did. Anyways, this guy is kind of in an unfair advantage because I only own one physical game, which is GTA 5. So I'm giving it Halo 4 because this was kind of like a late 360 game, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like that bar, that's an Xbox One bar. So I'm giving it to the console here. It gets Halo 4. If you want to complain, you can. I'm sorry, guys. But what I will say about this console is it does a lot of things. Like, you got this button. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's a nice little clicky button. It has another clicky button, another clicky button. Well, this one's a little soft, but this one's clicky. And if we flip it over, oh goodness, it's heavy. We have all these little ports. We have the little power. We have an HDMI out, an HDMI in, which they don't do anymore, but I kind of like the HDMI in because you could just plug in anything to it and then just use the Xbox as another passport, or a pass, what is it? Pass through, there we go. 2 USB ports, there's one in the front, so this just makes 3. IR out, which I don't know what it does. You know, the digital audio and Ethernet. So I think it's pretty cool. There's so many ports on this thing. This doesn't help it at all, because HDMI in doesn't do anything. I mean, you could plug in another console. I did that. I plugged in my PS5 to my Xbox. But this thing is also just really big. Like, it can't fit in focus. I would have to, like, push this button. Yay! Don't ignore that stuff. But we're not doing that kind of thing yet. I don't want to zoom my camera out like that. Hello? Camera? But let's talk about the games. GTA 5. What do I gotta say about GTA 5? It's a good game. It's not in here, is it? Yeah, no. This isn't a bad game whatsoever, especially story-wise. It's a pretty good game. I just prefer Vice City. Yeah, hate me if you want. Also, online's okay. Online's fun. Just not my thing, you know? This is definitely trying to advertise online more than GTA 5 itself. But it's not a bad game. This is definitely also a very good choice for this console. Because not only do you have this big, beefy console that can do a lot of things, you get a game where you can do anything ish. Can't build things and stuff, but you have like a big open world that you can play by yourself or online, do a story, don't do a story, kill a bunch of people. That's kind of sad though, but yeah. It's a pretty open game to do a lot of things in. Halo 4 really isn't like that. Now, I haven't played enough of Halo 4 to like really say anything about it, but the amount of Halo 4 I have played, I didn't really like. This is kind of the start of the like weird change of Halo, because I did play Halo 5 and that sucked, man. I don't know about Halo Infinite though, but I haven't played the story of that one. I played the multiplayer. It's not bad. But this, I don't know, man. To show off this console, it looks good. It's a good looking game. This one I think has 2 discs. Yeah. The game disc, download disc. The usual like late console era. You need 2 discs. I don't think this console actually needs the second disc. I think you just put disc 1 in and play. But as it stands, Halo 4 is kind of boring. Especially as if you were to be playing the Halo series. Like if you were playing 1, 2, 3 ODST, Reach, and you get to 4, you're going to be disappointed. But if we're talking about you just have this console and these 2 games, you're going to have a good time. This game, if it's your first Halo, you're not going to be like out of boredom or like disappointed. You're gonna have a good time, especially if the servers were still up. You would still have a really good time. You'd play multiplayer. I don't think the multiplayer works anymore, but there was fun to do. You could do split screen. That's still a good thing. This game has split screen multiplayer, only online multiplayer. We're going to an era where multiplayer is becoming less of a thing, and you're gonna be seeing that in the next 2 consoles, I think. But this game still had split screen, and of course, it's going to be fun. No matter what, a good or bad game, you're going to probably still have fun no matter what with a friend. Especially a shooter game like this, you're going to be killing one another, and it's going to be super annoying when one of them just keeps getting the good gun, and they keep taking your guns, and then they teabag you, so you throw a grenade at them, and then it bumps off of them for some goddamn reason and kills you, so now you're stuck 10 points behind, 10 seconds left, and you lose. Anyways, this isn't a bad game. This game, I mean, online's kind of annoying. People just run you over, shoot you with a missile or something. Man, people get really annoying in this game online. Online is not very fun, especially with the wrong people. Like, I play with one of my friends, and she's really good at it. We have fun. We drive around. We rob a bank. No, not a bank, a gas station. We do some of those heist things. Those are fun. What's not fun is someone just driving up to you and blowing up your car, or just causing violence because they just wanted to. But this is the online generation, so if you don't like these games, just play Fall Guys. Everyone loves Fall Guys. So next console, how about that? So this one's going to be getting in by a technicality, the Nintendo Switch. It was part of the handhelds video, but we were considering it as a handheld. Here we're considering it stays plugged in like this, no matter what. Nothing else. We're not going to be talking about it being handheld, no controllers, no nothing. And the 2 games we get, Paper Mario and the Origami King, and Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. This is an exclusive. This is an exclusive. Honestly, not bad. If you were to get this and have no recollection of any Paper Mario games beforehand, so like if you never played the first one, the Thousand Year Door, Super Paper Mario, any of those, if you just played Origami King, you'd have a hell of a good time. This is a fun game. If you're one of those people who really love the Thousand Year Door, you might be kind of disappointed with this. And that's okay. I had a good time playing this. I haven't beaten it. I have a lot of other games to have to put time into. But this isn't a bad game, and I paid, I bought this used. I got it like on a discount for like $20 because of like my GameStop points and stuff. if you were to get this game, especially since it's probably going to go down in price because of the new console or new Paper Mario games, yada yada, this honestly is a good buy. You're going to love it. It's charming, it's stupid, it's fun. The battles can get a little annoying, but they still need some like thinking into it. It's not just press A again on the enemy, attack. You still have to like time your jumps, twist the battle map around, stuff like that. It's a fun experience and you'll love it. Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. I haven't played a lot of. This is the Legendary Banana Edition because I like bananas. This comes with this thing, a monkey book. I haven't played much of this. I bought this new for like $30, $25. It was discounted at GameStop for a brand new copy. But this game, you guys can't have my banana suit. I think I redeemed it already. These games don't have their cartridges in there. I'm sorry. But we're going to keep holding this. Banana Rumble, it's a pretty fun monkey ball game. It's definitely also worth your time. And I think this one is, multiplayer. This is a single player game. So prepare for loneliness. But this, you can play with friends. You can play with 16 people online and it gets chaotic. You can play as a monkey in a ball. I love monkeys. This game's awesome. I love bananas. As a monkey ball game, definitely a lot better than like Banana Blitz HD or whatever it was called. I don't know about Monkey Ball Banana Mania or whatever it's called, the 1 and 2 kind of thing. I think this is better by a bit because it's also just a new monkey ball with new levels, and comparing the original monkey balls to the other one, nah. Anyways, this is a fun game, and it's honestly surprising it's a Switch exclusive, but it's a fun game. You're gonna really enjoy it, and it's fun to just sit on and play on the TV with your controllers. It's a good time, and I think it's definitely worth like combating with other games. Like these two games alone, you're gonna have a good time. You could have a big adventure that takes time, or you can just pop in and monkey around. Like really monkey around, and you're gonna have a good time. Or if you want to get serious and Mario it, you have Mario. And like, yeah, you're getting Nintendo with Mario, but you're also getting Nintendo with monkeys. Not Donkey Kong, yeah, but monkeys. People love monkeys, I think. I don't know about that as much anymore. Anyways, definitely is gonna be like a not a sophisticated taste, but like a certain taste. Because if you don't like RPGs, like me, if you don't like typical RPGs, you will probably get bored of this. I kind of do with RPGs sometimes. I get bored and then I stop playing for a while, then I come back, and then I go, oh, this game's actually really good, and then I beat it. Which will be a game probably we talk about. But this is honestly pretty fun, and this is also kind of like a game where you kind of want to keep playing because it breaks typical RPG norms. Obviously, Mario's always done that. Like, he's always not been just like a press A to attack. It's like, press A and then jump on the guy, jump on the other guy, jump on them in a row, or charge your hammer up and attack, or do these cool specials. It's cool. These are both really cool choices. I don't know why I did that. Monkey, Mario. They both start with M's. They're the double M's. Well, technically this one starts with P and this one starts with S. Let's get on with the last console. Ooh. This thing's huge. I don't know if it'll sit in the frame. The Sony PlayStation 5. It wobbles. I put stickers on it because the plastic just bores me. I can't even put this in frame like standing up. You won't see the whole thing, so you're gonna see it wobbling here in the back. The PS5 is kind of the newest console I own because the Switch is from 2017. This is from 2020, I think. PS5 is pretty cool. We're also talking about the PS4 in a way because I don't own a lot of PS5 games on disc, so I included the PS4 games which was probably a funny choice because our games today, give me a second, it's probably best game on PS5 at the moment. Astrobot, wonderful choice, genuinely. Persona 5. This is gonna be a hard thing to talk about, especially since I didn't play Persona 5. I played Persona 5 Royal, and I played that on the Switch. So this is gonna be kind of hard to talk about. But it is a PlayStation hits, and this game is constantly cheap. Like, I constantly see it on the PlayStation Store for $7. Not Royale, Persona 5. Just regular, basic Persona 5. And you're still getting a really wonderful time with it. Like, you're getting a good, you're getting a wonderful game. You're getting a ton of content, like at least like 100 hours or so. But with this game, especially since Royale's out, you're getting less content, and you're also getting a difficult game. That's just my opinion, though. I played Royale, and I had to switch it at the end to like the really easy mode. I'm fucking sad. This game, though, this game's wonderful. Persona 5, a wonderful game. This is actually, when I first got my PS4, I got this with it because it was like $7. And yeah, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change that I got this game with this console and I didn't play it until I got Royale on the Switch. This game's wonderful, and it's red. Definitely still worth your time. Like, if you plug this in today, you're still gonna have the same amount of fun as someone who probably played Royale. Not gonna get the same amount of like content, and you might get some stories kind of forgotten. Just never gonna happen unless you buy Royale. But you're still gonna have a good time. This game's wonderful. You have cool characters. You have a cat. You have a girl. 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 You have him. And you have him. And you have Pikachu. Did I mention this game is by Sega? Well, it's by Atlas, but Sega publishes it. See? Where the fuck is Sega? Was this... I can't believe that I've been lied to. Sonic, why would you lie to me? Anyways, Persona 5, pretty good RPG. If you, like I said, if you like RPGs, you will enjoy this game. But if you're not an RPG fan like me, you'll probably still enjoy it because it's such a funny, interesting game. It definitely put me off guard when I first played it. Like, it wasn't getting me, like, attention-wise. It was funny, but the story was like a different turn from Persona 4. But after a bit and playing more and more, I really got into it. And then I stopped playing it, putting other games important in front of it. And then I came back to it just recently and I beat it. I beat all of it. I beat all of it, including Royale. I don't know, like in February or March, like early March. I beat it all. And now there is a hole where that game was that needs to be filled with another game. Probably sooner or later. But this game is wonderful. Just a good fun RPG. You'll get your time out of it. You definitely will. Especially for $7. Oh my god, you'll definitely get your time out of it. Like 100 hours for $7. A big story, a bunch of cool characters and personas, and you could eat a burger. That's worth $7 to me. Eating burgers, meeting fucking Makoto and Haru. Game's peak. Not really. This is peak. This is game of the year. It won game of the year, right? Yeah, it won game of the year. This is peak. I bought this day one. This is the game. This is the best game on PS5. I'm sorry, Elden Ring, Bloodborne fans, whatever. What was it? Dark Souls, or what was Demon Souls? Demon Souls. This is peak right here. What was I gonna say there? Not expensive. Well, to get the console is expensive. It's like $500 for this guy. Well, I paid like $300 because I traded in my PS4 and my Switch before the OLED. Anyways, this game is peak. It's in the console because I was playing it. Oh my god. This is platforming heaven. You have so many things, so many noises, so much music, so many little character cameos. Even without the character cameos, you still get a wonderful game where you can just run around. And I love a game where I can just run around and see the world. There's a lot of levels, a lot of worlds, and the worlds always feel kind of open, which I really love because I like also just being like kind of linear, like where you have to, there's a goal at the end. But there's also just like a lot of stuff where you can just run around, jump around, hit things. You can hit a lot of things. Things won't just like get mad at you for hitting them. You can just spin attack at everything. You can spin attack a bunch of apples and they make a bunch of noise on your controller. And there's a bunch of rumble and the controller's cool and all the little special power-ups and just like boss fights. Everything's so much fun with this game. And I haven't beaten it because I'm taking it really slowly to play this game because I really want to get all the amount of fun out of it. And even then, there's still content, updates, DLC. Well, not DLC to be specific. It's just like extra little bonus maps with extra characters. That is still really cool that this game's getting so much content. And it's on the PS5. So when you buy this console, you probably are gonna buy Astrobot, unless you're one of those people who really hate cute robot video games. If you're here, I would say get out of here because you're not gonna like my opinions. I love cute robot jumping platformer. I don't like that whatever Black Myth Wukong game. I don't know what it was called. I didn't care for that. Elden Ring, I haven't played it. Astrobot, fucking love this game, man. Look at this. Look at this guy. He's my favorite little guy. He's Mario, but robot. Well, he's not Mario. He has no mustache. But he's wonderful. And this console is honestly just a lot to deal with. It is such a big console that I don't really care about damaging the plastic. There's not a lot on the back. You got 2 USB ports, Ethernet, HDMI, and power. In here, you can put an SSD, like one of those M2 ones that are small. On the front, you can get a USB, which I put my wireless headset on, USB-C, and that's it. And if you didn't buy a disk drive, there would be no disk drive. Doesn't make the console smaller. Even you can make it slimmer, but you can't make it shorter. It is such a big console, and these games also sound really loud with the disk drive. I don't know if that's just a my console problem, but I've also heard other people have that problem. But I don't know how to fix that. I don't have the stand that came with the console, okay? I bought my console used because I was trying to save money. I probably would not have bought this console if it was $500. Not at that time. And I'm really having to like contemplate if I want to buy the Switch 2 for $500. Yeah. And possibly more due to whatever news is happening. We're not talking into that. That dates this video. We're already dating the video because we're talking about Persona 5 and Astrobot. These are games. One day, Persona 5 canceled for being too woke. But in all seriousness, this is also just a good combination. You get a really fun platformer, really good RPG, really goofy, pretty serious at times. Somewhat linear story, like, oh, you gotta save the parts of your robot. Very big story with different parts that you can either like accept seeing or not seeing whatsoever. There's a lot that can happen in this game just due to your choices. Funny Robot Man. I like Funny Robot Man, personally. I would play Funny Robot Man over this. But this gives it like a small bit of variety because you have like a lot you can do in both of these games. And sure, neither one of these are the typical sports shooter games. This ain't Halo. But who needs Halo? You have Astrobot. And you can play a mini game of Ape Escape. And I love Ape Escape. Ape Escape is peak. Monkeys. Monkeys, people! And with that, that ends this part of the video where we talk about the consoles and the games that it gets. We're going to be going over to the computer world. We're going digital again. And we're going to be fighting them to the death. to see who is the #1 console with its 2 games. Fun, right? Yeah, everyone likes a console. I think if we're asking me, past Aiden, who's gonna win, I'm hoping it's the GameCube. I think the GameCube might win because Tony Hawk and Mario Baseball. But I guess that's for the future to find out because I don't make the choices. It's the fight that makes the choices. So I'll see you there. Alright, and we're at the final part of the video. This is the tournament part. I shuffled these around. So, actually, just for fun. Oh, we're started, unfortunately. Never mind. We're going to start from bottom to top. NES versus PS5. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, NES. It's PS5 for the victory on this battle. It's just because of replayability. Astrobot's huge, and you can constantly come back. 3 save files. You can always just pick it up and play again and again and again, as much as you can with Super Dodgeball and Mickey Mousecapade. I feel like the PS5 alone with just Astrobot is good, but then you have Persona 5, and Persona 5 just tops it off. You could play one Persona 5, or for the same amount of time, probably like 20 times Mickey Mousecapade or Super Dodgeball. That is a lot of replayability for the PS5 alone. So it goes on, and unfortunately we only had 17 consoles, so I added a free win for PS5, unfortunately. Xbox 360 and PS1. Xbox 360 had Cars and Forza Motorsports 3. PS1 had NBA Shootout 2003 and the Final Fantasy Chronicles. And especially for the 360, both of those games could show off graphics really well, I have to say. One, because Cars looks pretty close to the movies in a weird way. Like, it doesn't look exactly like that, but it looks pretty close. Looks pretty good. And Forza Motorsports 3 just looks really good as a racing game. Neither one of these PS1 games really show off its graphics, and NBA Shootout just makes the console look really sad. So I have to give it 360. The Final Fantasy games, while big, I feel like racing games are unlimited replayability, because you never know what happens in them. And Cars also just has like a free play mode where you can just race whenever with any character combination, or just open world drive for fun. PS1, basketball, and two RPGs. 2 RPGs doesn't help it either way. So it goes up. Xbox 360 versus PS5. We'll get to that because we still have all these other consoles. PS2 versus Genesis. PS2 is pretty good with its 2 choices being Sonic Mega Collection Plus and Kingdom Hearts. But the Genesis also has Sonic 3 and NBA Jam. This is kind of hard because while Sonic Mega Collection Plus is great, it's also just the Genesis games. So I kind of feel like it loses points because it's not original games due to what it got picked with. Kingdom Hearts is great, but I feel like the 2 games the Genesis got were better for just also being able to play together. Like, that's another thing we gotta talk about. Multiplayer in a way. So I feel like Genesis I feel like it beats the PS2 in my opinion. Just because of the games it got picked with. Genesis, you can pick it up, grab 2 controllers, and play both games. And, Sonic 3 is a bit short, but as long as Kingdom Hearts is, you're gonna be kind of bored, and you can't bring your friends in. The thing about how the NES was, Super Dodgeball. I'm sorry, my brain. Super Dodgeball is multiplayer, but I felt like with the amount of content you got from both games on PS5, it kind of overtook that multiplayer aspect. So in this case, I feel like Genesis has more fun, and NBA Jam is just a lot better than NBA Shootout 2003, so that's why I didn't give it the multiplayer points. I give it to Genesis. Both games are multiplayer. Both games are replayable beyond time in itself, and just they're great games. Switch versus Wii U. Ooh, that's hard. Especially since both games it got were good. Switch got Super Monkey Ball and Paper Mario and the Origami King. Wii U got Mario Kart 8 and Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. It's just a bit difficult. On one hand, you got Kirby and Mario. Those are big names. And Switch, of course, you got Paper Mario and you got Super Monkey Ball. Multiplayer, single player, while the Wii U is both multiplayers. I feel like maybe I'm leaning a bit towards Wii U due to the two choices it got. Especially since Mario Kart is just timeless. That's always going to be replayable, even if you've played the tracks hundreds of times. Paper Mario and the Origami King isn't. Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, I feel like is going to be half replayable, because not only do you have the main game, you have challenges, which challenges are kind of iffy, but you also can just replay it with all your friends, and that just creates a bunch of chaos and it's just even more fun. So I think this is honestly really hard, so I'm gonna just Wii U it. Alright. Gamecube versus Saturn. I'm sorry, it's automatically Gamecube. One, the Saturn has Daytona USA. That is a great racing game, like one of a kind, man. It also has Bubble Symphony, which is a great platformer, also great for two people. Both games are multiplayer. Gamecube, I feel like just you get more content out of those games. Daytona, it's like 5-6 tracks. Bubble Symphony, once you play it once, you've probably seen a good majority of the game. Maybe if you play it a couple more times. I feel like with Tony Hawk, it's a little more locked, but Mario Superstar Baseball, oh my god, you got a lot going on in that game, and you can always have all your friends over, we can all play baseball, and it's really fun. So I feel like GameCube has to, like, win this one. As much as I love Daytona USA. Daytona USA is amazing. If the Saturn had just a different choice, maybe this fight would be a little different. Like, if it didn't have... Maybe if it had Sonic R and Panzer Dragoon, maybe this fight would be different. Don't know. You never know. Wii and Xbox One X. You see, this is a bit weird, because both games are good. Like, they're both choices. Halo 4, GTA 5, Wii Play, and Smash Bros. Brawl. We're getting to that online kind of world where, you know, Smash Bros. And GTA 5 are technically multiplayer online. Like, specifically GTA 5, I'm more or less speaking as in, you can play online with your friends. Smash Bros. Brawl, you can play with everyone. Same with Wii Play. Wii Play is also a 2-player game. But Halo 4 can bring everyone together. Especially even online. I think you do split screen online, and then boom, you got a lot of people. This is a difficult one because Wii Play, pretty good, but it's also only 2 players when the console's 4-player console. So, you know, fortunately, it cuts down the content. Well, it doesn't cut down the content, it cuts down the amount of players. So it loses a bit of points. But Super Smash Bros. Brawl not only is just Super Smash Bros. Brawl, it also has Virtual Console, like a bit of demos. I don't really point that in its favor. I'm just saying you get a lot more out of Super Smash Bros. Brawl. But, again, it is kind of like that same thing. You have multiplayer, a big single player. Those two games, Halo 4 and Smash Bros. Brawl, they can fight each other. Like, you have 4 players all together beating each other up. Both of them basically like that. And then you have a big story. Except Smash Bros. Brawl's story is a bit different. It's still a good story. But the infinite replayability of GTA 5, I feel like, kind of beats Wii Sports. Because I'm putting Halo 4 against Smash Brothers. I'm putting Wii Play, unfortunately, against GTA 5. And I feel like Xbox One X wins that round. OG Xbox versus Dreamcast. Just alone,
on the games that got picked, Xbox. You see, the thing is, the Dreamcast was given horrible cards. It was given horrible cards. And I feel like the only console it could have beaten was the Genesis or NES. Maybe Saturn. So, it being against Xbox, which had two great multiplayer sports games. NBA... what was it called? Showtime? No, it was called NBA Streets V3. Sorry. And NHL Hits Pro against NFL 2K1 and Sonic Shuffle. Both of which are multiplayer, but so are the others. And not only that, I feel like Sonic Shuffle's less replayable, because no one's going to really want to play it after one time. Not even you, I feel. Unless you're a really big Sonic Shuffle fan, I respect you for that. I mean, it takes a lot of effort to get interested in a game like that. And just be able to love it the way you do. But, in my opinion, Xbox wins this round. And now we're here. N64 versus PS3. N64. You see, the thing about N64 versus PS3, PS3 has Minecraft. But it also has Michael Jackson in The Experience. Which, that pushes it down a bit. It's not a really great game. As great as Minecraft is, as multiplayer as both games are, so is GoldenEye and Dr. Mario. And with those games, you can have a ton more fun versus Michael Jackson The Experience. Once you've danced all those dances, there's nothing else. The thing about Minecraft is infinitely replayable. There are so many seeds in that game. You could be playing for the rest of your life a new seed every day and probably get bored, yeah, but never see the same thing twice, I hope. So, can it beat both GoldenEye and Dr. Mario with their 4-player multiplayers? I don't know. You see, GoldenEye's multiplayer is not only timeless, it's just straight fun. And Dr. Mario is a puzzle game. Puzzle games are kind of infinite. Especially Dr. Mario and Tetris, as those kind of games, the pieces are randomized. And so is just like the level whenever you pick a different difficulty, like when the numbers go up, like instead of being on level 5, you're on level 15, the amount of viruses change and the colors are always swapped. So it creates more possibilities for this fight. So I feel like N64 wins this one. But fighting against the Super Nintendo, because now we're getting to this part where we're going to go down again. I feel like the Super Nintendo, unfortunately, this being its first fight, loses to the N64 due to the fact of, like I was saying, multiplayer. The Super Nintendo, while having F-Zero and The Legend of Zelda, you can't have a person play with you. Neither game is multiplayer, as much as they are replayable. Zelda less replayable, which is another thing. That game is less replayable. I feel F-Zero is more replayable, as you can keep racing and racing and racing, and if you game over, you just do it again. But is it as much as GoldenEye? No. In my opinion, no. And especially Dr. Mario. You can't really fight Dr. Mario in this. So, it wins. So now we're gonna go down, because this was the last one of this round. So, N64 versus Xbox. Oof, that is a difficult fight, genuinely. N64 and Xbox, and they are both fighting as 4-player multiplayer games. Jesus. So there's like no disadvantage of one being 2-player and the other one being 4-player. No, both are 4v4. Just like an online multiplayer game. Anyways, I do feel like the Xbox's sports titles, especially when you get everyone together, is a little more replayable than, the same maps and the same characters. Then again, you can always customize the characters you pick. You could have a ton of them. And especially just like every character unlocked. everyone can pick something different. There's tons of different weapon modes in GoldenEye, and Dr. Mario, of course, is a timeless puzzle game. But does it beat NBA and NHL? Maybe? This is a hard choice. This is something I don't know if I can really decide. I personally have to go with I've had more enjoyment with the N64 and those two games. Xbox, I feel like if I just had more multiplayer experiences, it possibly could beat the 64. Xbox One X versus Gamecube. You know, this becomes a thing now where the Xbox One X has such big open games, both of which are multiplayer, but now we're fighting online versus offline multiplayer, and that doesn't win. GTA 5, we're cutting multiplayer out because it's not fighting an online console. So then we have a 4-player game and a 1-player game versus 2 4-player games. And honestly, I have to give it to the GameCube. Yes, both of them are sort of sporty, and Tony Hawk actually is 2-player, but that's still 2 players. That's something the Xbox only has a 1-player game, while Tony Hawk is a 2-player game, and you still have a lot of things to do in that game. And of course, I feel like it's always infinitely replayable, especially if you just make new characters or just play as every character. You have a lot of things to do in that game, and you could always just reset your save, play with the cheat codes. There's a lot to that game. And then Mario Baseball is Mario Baseball. Like, as much as the story mode will end, you have the main game, you have mini games, you have so much. I think GameCube wins that round. Wii U versus Genesis Wii U. I'm sorry. It automatically wins that fight, I feel, as more game. You know, Mario Kart 8 racing. You get all these people together for that kind of game, or just even online, but we're not talking about online. Bring everyone together. All 4 people. Well, Genesis has a 4-player game. It's NBA Jam and you need to buy an adapter. So I feel like that doesn't really count as much. It's still a 4-player game though, and it's a good game, but Sonic 2's 2-player platforming game also has to compete with Kirby and the Rainbow Curse's 4-player, like inbuilt 4-player, not like Sonic 3's where it's kind of fighting the camera, or the standalone 2-player mode. I feel like Kirby and the Rainbow Curse beats Sonic 3 in that sense. Xbox 360 versus PS5. We're getting to a point where these consoles are getting really modern, so the fight here is difficult, because the graphic fidelity is not going to matter, to me at least, because I don't care. 360 looks just as good as PS5 sometimes. But it's the games. I can't really decide, because the PS5 has Astrobot and Persona 5, while the 360 has Cars and Forza Motorsports. And let me double check, is Forza Motorsports a 2-player split screen game? I'm just gonna do a little quick research. Motorsports 3. I think it's a 2-player game. Which is another thing. Astrobot is, in fact, just a single-player game in Persona 5 as well. So it creates this little difficulty where, yeah, what am I supposed to do? Like, I can't give my friend the... Well, I can give my friend the controller, no. But both in Cars and Forza are split-screen games. You know, you can get everyone to... Well, not everyone. You can only get one friend together and play. But still, that's better than just sitting there all alone. I feel like I have to give it to the Xbox. Just for both games also not only being big games as well, like Astrobot's open and platforming, Cars is also open, but also has more mini games and other things to do. It has a lot. And Forza Motorsports 3 maybe isn't like the best, but it's also 2 players and online, while the PS5 is an online console, so we can put online in that battle. And neither of those games are online multiplayer. So Xbox 360 wins. And now we're down to 4. Alright. Wii U versus 360. Ugh. I feel like it has to go to Wii U just for I would feel more people can get together and play. And variety. 2 racing games versus 1 racing, 1 platformer. I feel like beats it just like that. Because who cares about online in this situation? And if we do care, Mario Kart 8 online racing with everyone. I don't think Cars 3 or Cars has online multiplayer racing because it was made in mind for Gamecube and consoles before then, but it was on 360. Forza, maybe, and I'm sure that's like at least 12 player racing. Let me see. Online. How many people can you play online? I just wanted to know how many people can play online. It says here like 12, I think. 12, okay. That's basically a close amount to Mario Kart. And then again, 4-player platforming. That goes to Wii U. N64 versus GameCube. Here's where we hit like a roadblock. Nintendo's big multiplayer console, or Nintendo's better, more classic console. Like, everyone talks about the GameCube more than the N64. I like the N64, but this isn't by bias, this is by games. And as I feel as GoldenEye is timeless, so GoldenEye can fight, but I don't know if we can fight both of these games. I don't know if we can fight Tony Hawk. Maybe. I mean, one's a skateboard, one's a gun. I think gun wins in that fight. But Mario's puzzle game, Dr. Mario versus Mario Baseball. I feel like baseball's more entertaining. But then again, these are both 4-player games, while Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 is only a 2-player game. Whereas I'm sorry, I'm checking if I'm correct, if Pro Skater 3 only has split screen, like 2 players, or 4-player. Yeah, it looks like only 2-player, like I was saying. So, we have to put that into account. Especially since, you know, but if you get all your friends together, you can't just go, hey, you want to watch me play Tony Hawk with my friend? And then your third friend's just like, well, what do I do? I don't know, just watch us play Tony Hawk. So, even if it's just like, you guys want to play Dr. Mario? If your friends like Dr. Mario, everyone's going to be like, yeah, let's play Dr. Mario. Dr. Mario sounds fun. Oh, but I feel like N64 wins. And so now, it's Nintendo versus Nintendo. Wii U versus N64. I feel like the N64 has been mainly backing with GoldenEye, while the Wii U has 2 hitters, Kirby and Mario. While Mario and James Bond are pretty cool, Mario's a doctor in this one, so he's not as cool. Especially if you have the option, I feel like everyone would rather play the Wii U. Especially Mario Kart. Everyone loves Mario Kart. Even your parents probably would be okay with playing Mario Kart. Like, if my mom would not play GoldenEye. My mom would play Mario Kart, though. She has played Mario Kart. So, kind of in this point where you could bring anyone to play Mario Kart. Like, I've even gotten a friend who's never played Mario Kart before to play Mario Kart. And I don't think I could get them to play GoldenEye. So I really have to give it to the Wii U. Who wins the battle? Yay! The Wii U wins. King of all kings. We will never die. Wii U will never die. And with that, thank you all for watching. Give your Wii U some loves. loves. Give your Wii U some love. And I'll see you all next time with controllers.